I've been living a life of multiple careers for over 10 years now, and I've been a content creator for roughly 1.5 years. I think I found the right career for me. I mean, it wasn't always easy, but overall, creating content is fulfilling to me. But it wasn't always like that. You see, I too was stuck in a mismatched job back then in the banking industry, and I was faced with a choice. Either continue in banking and digging my nails deeper into my banking career despite dreading it more and more each day, or call it quits and chart a new path. I was at a crossroads and I had to make a painstaking decision. Cons. I dreaded Mondays and I felt like I had to drag myself to work. I was a project manager working on initiatives to acquire new customers and grow their portfolios, something I didn't care about but pretended to, which made me feel so fake and feel out of place. I spent the majority of my time in meetings, writing proposals, getting approvals, and pushing papers through 10 or more different departments. I just felt that my work was meaningless. And saying that my job made me irritable was an understatement. My mom let me know that I was getting grumpy and snappy. Pros. It was stable, or at least I thought so at that time. I had money flowing into my account every month and all these benefits, and the career ladder was promising. After I became VP, in 5 years or so, I could become SVP. And financially, I'd be very well off. I could afford buying my dream house and help anyone in my family who needed support. And this option was just very tempting. But hell no, I just wanted to get out of there. So I chose the risky and unconventional path of pursuing fulfilling work. I didn't know exactly how I would go about it at that time, but all I knew was that I wanted to build a career for myself in which I did meaningful work and where I had the freedom and flexibility to manage my own hours. And for me at that time, that meant to go into acting and self-employment. And I know if a friend came up to you and told you that they wanted to quit their job to become an actor or start a business, then you'd perhaps just slap them across the face or pour a bucket of ice water over their head just to wake them up. Are you crazy? That's far too risky. Why would you risk your career for something so uncertain and unstable? And yes, that was my own voice speaking inside my head. So here's why I decided to pursue fulfilling work anyways, despite the risk, the uncertainty, and the instability. And just in case you are in a similar place that I was a decade ago, unwilling to let go of a less than ideal job, then I do hope that this will change your mind. The first reason why I chose to pursue fulfilling work over money was that I simply didn't want to experience regret. I didn't want to regret not doing or at least trying to build a career around things that I was really interested in, that I was strongly drawn to and really enjoyed. On the other hand, I knew that I wouldn't regret not having a larger house or a fancier car or even not being able to send my kids to an Ivy League school. That's a topic for another time, by the way. And I'm not saying that I don't like or that I don't need money. It's just that I would never want to sacrifice fulfilling work for it. But we'll get to the money part in a bit. Just thinking that in my 50s or 70s, I might look back at my life and wonder why in the world I spent all my precious time on work that was just mental torture to me was just nauseating. And I know these people. I know those people who are full of regret and became bitter about life. They led a safe life and accepted a second or even worse, fifth best life, trying to pretend that they're happy while quietly crumbling inside, feeling miserable or just empty. And I told myself that I didn't want to be one of those people. Let me tell you, if right now you have a job that you're fulfilled in, then you've made it. Yes, that is my definition of making it in life. Spending a major chunk of your working life doing fulfilling work. But more likely, you either have a job that you hate, in which case it will be clear to you that you need to do something about it. Or the most insidious thing is that you have a job that is just so-so or blah, but you've decided to just hang in there because you believe that the main goal in life is to earn a steady, safe paycheck and pay your bills. And that makes totally sense if you're thinking short term. But the moment you start expanding your view and look at your entire life, then you'll quickly realize that you're just squandering your life. And I do not want to discount any special situations in which you have to prioritize stability. If you or someone in your family is going through an expensive medical condition, then hanging in there might be the best choice for the time being at least. But if you're not facing any extraordinary situation, then just take a moment and fast forward a few decades. Imagine when you're in your 70s or 80s, would you not regret not having pursued fulfilling work? The second reason why I chose to pursue fulfilling work was that I strongly believe that I could make a living pursuing fulfilling work. Perhaps not immediately, but at some point. And this is a major thing that keeps many people from pursuing fulfilling work. They reach a foregone conclusion that, nope, making and selling crafts, becoming a writer, or being a photographer will definitely land me under the bridge and make me become impoverished. And I'm not saying that this is impossible. This scenario can realistically happen. But on the other hand, there are definitely ways and opportunities to make a decent living with careers that are not typically high paying. And why do I say typically? Most people would think that a dentist earns more than a photographer. While this might be true for the average, it depends. How far can you take photography? What if you actually hate dentistry and do a mediocre job because of it? What if you love photography so much that you're able to bring up the extra energy and dedication? If you become an extremely skilled photographer and you can market your services well, there's a chance that you'll reach a point where you'll make more money than you would have made working as a dentist. At some point, I say, because it won't happen overnight. There may be times in the beginning where your income barely covers your utilities and you have to supplement your fulfilling work with another freelance or part-time job. And then there might be times where your income from your new career is just so hideously low that you need to seriously tighten your belt and downsize. But if you keep at it, if you have the patience and the willpower, there will come a time where you can make good money doing fulfilling work. And I chose the latter. I always believed in that. You see, the choice isn't really between A, unfulfilling work and money, and B, fulfilling work and no money. No, the choice is between A, unfulfilling work forever and money, or little money in the beginning but fulfilling work forever. And I was willing to get through the initial crappy years, take the risk, and make the sacrifices. And it was worth it. The third reason why I chose fulfilling work over money was because of externalities. I borrowed the term externalities from economics, and in this context, by externalities, I mean costs you incur in your personal life as a result of an unfulfilled working life, such as extreme dissatisfaction that leads to decreased life quality, prolonged stress, overspending on lifestyle-enhancing goods to compensate for unhappiness, work annoyances spilling over into relationships and wreaking havoc on them, and health issues incurring lots of expenses and time for medical treatment and even therapy. The problem is that these externalities are not fully visible at first and only come to the surface over time. And here's how it goes. In your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you force yourself to continue working in a job that makes you miserable, that leaves you feeling empty and meaningless. And the problem is that at that time, you might not feel that there is anything wrong. Your account is full, you have money to spend, and you kind of enjoy life in a way. But then, in your late 30s, and especially your 40s and 50s, externalities start kicking in. Yes, it's payback time. All the trouble that's been bubbling under the surface is now exposed. And I just didn't want to go through this. I wanted to live right and fulfilled from the start, even though that meant less money in the beginning. I didn't just want to close my eyes and go through the motions and deal with those externalities later. I wanted to prevent them from happening at all. And fast forward 10 years, I have no regrets. Of course, it wasn't easy. While I was watching other people going on expensive trips and buying a lot of stuff, I was pinching pennies and fretting over my business and ventures. But here's the thing, guys. Each year I came closer and closer to building the career that I wanted and living a fulfilling life. If you want a step-by-step guide to pursuing fulfilling work, then you can get my new book, Multiple Careers, Quit the Rat Race, Pursue Fulfilling Work. I'm currently offering it at a promotional price of $3.99 until the end of this weekend. And just in case you get the book, then please leave me a review on Amazon. It would help me so much and it would just mean the world to me. Thank you. Also, there will be some changes to my channel again as I'm considering to merge my podcast back into my main channel. So you will be seeing new types of content, including podcasts where I interview guests. Until then, take care and remember, changing your career will change your entire life for the better. Thank you guys for watching and see you soon in the next video.